The postman, city, hood, click. Let's go.
About humanity, putting truth in these lines while they busy feeding lies. When you got that tunnel vision, gotta open up your eyes. Wake up and go to sleep. Man, I'm praying all times. And to my guys, ain't no other side. This for my brothers, I'ma pray we all shine. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Yeah, you already know.
Depending on the lessons, some people eat, some people learn. But the game is going to send you a big. Lock the door.
Lock the door. Shout out to the Mailroom Nation and the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. Be sure to click that notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below so when this dope content hit, it'll feel like it's first in the 15. Welcome to the Mailroom. When you come in, take a look at your mind, examine what's in your heart. Before they had handguns, they had handguards. Man up. This is not a glorification or a glamorization. It's always an education. Go anywhere to get a couple of lives, but you come right here and get the truth. Get on the bus and let me take you to school, because I am the bus driver, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Who we got today? Let me see. Marlena Williams, Rodney. Rodney is on deck. What's good? RDL in the house. What's good? Pierce, what's happening, man? How y'all doing, man? I appreciate each and every last one of you guys for coming here. But before you enter the room, just press that thumbs up, man, and make sure, make your presence felt, man. If you ring that bell, I'll bring that mail, as my guy, Young and Hefe, man. Hey, Trey say, if you ring that bell, I'll bring that mail, man. Today is April Fool, but today April Fool is canceled this year, because no made-up pranks can match the unbelievable crap that's going on the internet right now. We got the multitude of people that seem to be disgruntled, unhappy, not necessarily looking at the complexities of the actual people that's actually doing content. There's some people that's being very messy, of course, but there's people that's actually doing content. And let me explain. Nobody is calling ABC, CBS, World News, CNN, MSNBC. Nobody called them and complained about their commentary on what observable reality is giving everybody, because everything, I told you guys, the streets died when everybody got on the internet. Everything is being played out in plain sight. Virtual reality, internet, social media, whatever label you want to stick to it. Just know that that's where we at, this guys. You can't get mad about it. And people then commentary. People go back and do research, data, statistics, and gather the information and want to make you informed so you don't repeat the mistakes that you're seeing played out over the internet. Be very careful of that, because there's some actual people on here that's doing the journalistic work, that know journalistic techniques, that have a little information, a little knowledge, a little understanding how to, be creative. So again, when you're creating content, right, it is essential to cultivate emotional detachment. In other words, detach yourself from the emotional aspect, because people are going to attack you. They're going to come for you, and be neutral in the complex web of virtual reality. Because you have a multitude of unstable personalities but here's the thing, stay focused, keep an open mind, right? This approach will keep you from keep you grounded rather than emotional, giving them emotional response and outbursts and just latching on to anything anybody say. Because here's the thing, an intellectual response is well deserved if you choose to. You don't have to do it, but if you do respond intellectually. Don't get into this emotional thing because most of the people on here are very highly emotional. So today we come on here to talk about the art of self snitching. I think that's something that we have to address. The art of self snitching. And what I want to point out, there was maybe a month ago, maybe whenever the Jay Reed situation happened over there at the No Jumper in the alley, and we saw a couple of individuals that we know that was present, Luce Cannon being one of them, Whack 100 being another, and some other ones that was present. And then some people chose to film this situation. I said then, I told a couple of people, I said, man, that's a federal crime. And they said, how you know? I said, because Luce Cannon got in his vehicle, a couple of people got in their vehicles and left Vegas and came to California and committed a crime. It is a direct fact of interstate commerce. You in effect of interstate commerce. So what we talking about? We're talking about the Hobbs Act. The Hobbs Act is more likely what Luce Cannon is going to be dealing with. And the Hobbs Act is codified by Title U.S. 18, 1951. It is a federal law that makes it a crime to criminal robbery, to commit robbery or extortion that affects interstate or foreign commerce. What is commerce? Commerce is money. Because if commerce is going like this, and you decide to take it back that way, then you in effect of the commerce. So the key elements of this is the robbery itself is unlawful taking of property or person or persons or another a means of actual threatening or force, violence or fear. That's one of the key elements in it. And then the extortion part is obtaining property from threat or force or violence under color of a right. So we saw all that played out within that alley. We saw two men beating pistol. So here's the assault. Some man was pistol whooped on camera. They filmed it themselves. Nobody filmed this. So this is the art of self-censorship. These is why individuals who also run the streets, they run the streets without learning the law, without learning what the laws are, what the federal sentencing guidelines are. And there's another thing I want to point out, and we're gonna get to that, and what the penalties are. And the penalties of the Hobbs Act you're facing significant criminal penalties in the Hobbs Act. And it's no more or no less than 20 years, I believe, somewhere around there, 20. So here's where it gets tricky. Think of it as being caught in a pickle. A pickle. Everybody knows what a pickle if you know baseball terminology. Where you're caught between the first base and the second base. Now, either you get back to the first base and try to get safe, or you get to the second base, you get safe. But you caught a pickle and the ball is going back and forth, and they're running you down. They're running you down. And you're trying to desperately outmaneuver these guys to get in a safe zone. So it happens that while you're trying to get safe, you get tagged out. So here's where it gets tricky for the government. The government use what is called, they use 15 years for felonies and they use 10 years for misdemeanors. So this is what a lot of guys don't understand when you go into feds, that they would take all your old cases, whatever felonies you had prior to 15 years ago, they can give you 4 to 3 points for those felonies. All the misdemeanors, whether it's tickets, misdemeanors, any of that, they can give you 1 to 2 points for those, right? So what happens, say for instance, you go category 1, 1, 2, 3, right? Category 2, 3, 4, 5. category 4, 5, 6, 7. Category 5 is maybe 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? When you get to 13, you automatically go to career. You go to the career criminal category, career criminal category 6. Doesn't, however, make you a career criminal, but here's where it gets tricky. The feds have a unique way of giving you 3 strikes, and how they do it. They go back to your criminal history. 2012, you had a robbery, right? That fits in between that 15-year period that I'm talking about. 2015, you caught a dope case. This is where it's going to get tricky for both Loose Cannon, Big U, and Trick, not Trick Baby, but Big Baby. My bad, Big Baby. It's gonna get tricky for me because we heard the list of crimes read off, and this is why you're not gonna see you get a bill, you're not gonna see Cannon get a bill, you're not gonna see Brick Baby get a bill. They're not gonna be getting bills because within there they have evading, they have non-appearances, all this different stuff. All that's in your record. You're not getting a bill first and foremost. You're not getting a bill. They're not gonna give it to you. So when they figure all that out and you wake up, say for instance, you got a felony robbery in 2012. You got a drug case in 2015. Now you got this case that has extortion and robbery, another crime of violence, right? 3 elements automatically make you an armed career criminal. Now you go all the way to career criminal 6, and they drop you down to level 34, and then you level 34 at category 6, you begin to see 30, 40, life. There's a space down there on the citizen guideline chart that says life. If you get past level 36, it's automatic life. And that's just based on we ain't even talking about the allegations. We're just talking about based on your criminal history and the level of offense that you're in that places you there. Now we get into the elements of level offenses. How many counts do you have? It might be, I'm using an example, it might be 42 counts on the indictment. I don't know that to be true. But say 10 of them are yours. What are those 10? You got extortion, you got robbery, you got great bodily injury, you got all these other elements that make up this crime. You got the RICO itself. The RICO in itself is a life sentence, no less than 20. Now you got these guys that's well in, like when I caught my case, I was like barely at 40, I believe. And I got out at 50, 51, right? Did 10 years. If you over that age and you get like a 20-year sentence, man, it's gonna be ugly, guys. It's gonna be real ugly. Another thing, this is real game for you guys, and I want you guys to listen to me real close about the cell phone. Have any of you ever noticed that the cell phone, today's smartphone, you can't take the battery out? You can't take the battery out. The reason why you can't take the battery out, because the phone is never off. Whether you cut it off or you think you cut it off, it is never off. Because anything that's powered by a battery is always on. And I'll give you an example. If somebody steal your car and the battery's still in it, whether the car is running or not, they can find that car, correct? Because of the location, the locator system that they have built in that car. And the same thing with the phone. It has a locator sensor built in with the phone that allows the federal government to locate that phone anytime they get the red. No airplane mode either. None of that works. None of that works. So with the ODIT, the on-device interception tool that upgrades what their capabilities are in order to bring define where you at. Use vehicle tracker. There's vehicle tracking, the LVT and the CVT, all that stuff. All that stuff is playing right into the technology that they use to get you. And if you think you're getting away with something, you're not. You either educate yourself to a higher learning of a degree to where you advance yourself in your technology and how you move, or you still use them old same prehistoric ideas. That check-in stuff, that was 80s stuff. If you're talking about check-in 2025, you're going to jail. You got away with it in the 80s. I'll give you another example. When the Arabs got into the MDS, the pseudoephedrine business, right? They was buying pseudoephedrine over in Canada because pseudoephedrine in Canada was way cheaper than it was in the United States. And they could buy pounds of it for like $20, $30 or something crazy number. But in the United States, it was selling for really high. I can't remember what the numbers was, right? But at that point, the DEA had not listed as a chemical compound that was listed by the DA on the chart. So therefore, it couldn't be criminally charged. What happened is that them guys, because I was in there with about 30 of them, had they had a stop when they had their millions of dollars before the federal government changed the law and listed the pseudoephedrine as a listed drug on the DEA chart, they would have made it. But they kept going. And when they listed it, once they list it on the DEA, now you in the way. They got you now. You still playing the game. So at some point, when you playing certain games and being involved in certain elements of crime and criminality within the world, you got to know that it has a time limit. You got to know the time limit. If you don't know the time limit, then something is going to happen to you. But again, I believe that Luce Cannon is definitely going to be charged under the Hobbs Act and whatever else that goes along with whatever else him and some of the other guys do, because all this stuff is self-snitching. They all on the phone talking like it's normal, it's regular, it's it's seasonal. Slime Ball TV, what's happening? My lips getting dry a little bit. But anyway, so now we got this guy, Mr. Tremaine Ashley Williams, a.k.a. Luce Cannon. Sweetie is a liar. He's very manipulative individual, a woman abuser, a polygamist, a narcissist, a sociopath, and someone who leads an extreme imaginary lifestyle. A lot of the things that he did was like made up, what's going on inside his head, and just nowhere else. So the whole time he was talking about, he had subways and he had this artist, he had this artist all the time. He was out there playing the extortion game and robbing, getting a bag that way. And then he coming on YouTube and coming to No Jumper and all these other platforms, pretending to be this big producer. Now he's taking money, of course, from his proceeds to try to get into the entertainment world as far as creating one of those shows, one of them ratchet shows, reality show, I guess that's what they call them. But we all know this ratchet, very ratchet. We got to stop making these shows the identity of Black people. It's not good. I think Luce Lips blinded by content. Yeah, he's definitely blinded. So yeah, poor Luce Cannon, man. He's a prime candidate. He's a prime candidate for a head change. They about 8 years away from actually taking a head and putting it on another body. They like 8 years away from that technology. they working on it. So maybe they can use him because they need to, just get rid of that man and do something else with that because this guy is, And then he gets his wife. This guy he's been married like 4 times, I believe, and I don't think he's divorced any of those women. He just married women, and he probably wanted to marry negative reality shows and music with bad messages or harming us. Yeah, definitely Rock Fresh, definitely. Um, he's he's married all these different women. And now I was seeing this one lady, her name was Jasmine Adams, aka Gigi. She was on the street TV, right? Getting interviewed, and she talked about all the abuse. She showed pictures of him beating her up, and she had video and all this assortment of stuff, man. And you supposed to be a street tough guy, but yet you beating pregnant women up and all this kind of stuff, not claiming a baby and all this, and then he's lying about his whole lifestyle, and it's just unfathomable, and you just can't make this stuff up when you just get down to the brass tacks of it. You see that this guy life was just a whole big old lie. And however you ever seen Richard Pryor? And I'm gonna give you a prime example. Yeah, you guys ever watched Richard Pryor? Richard Pryor had a character called Mudbone. Mudbone, he go down there and sit with Mudbone, and they exchange lies. He tell a lie and I tell a lie, and we compliment each other on each other's lies. That's what you have with Luce Cannon and Whack 100. That's a prime example of what you have between them two. Will compliment each other on each other's lies. And anybody who can't see that these guys are lying, fabricating, stretching, making things up, creating things, and then at the same time getting on the phone and taping phone calls, which is, by the way, illegal. You can only have consent if it's in an open environment and somebody get consent. If you don't give consent for somebody taping your phone call, it is illegal to do so. Yeah, so we gotta really just really bear down on these situations and not allow people to just do what the heck they want to do based on what they call content. It is not content. I just told you what content. Content is the creator writing the idea and the creative force that resides within you that just pours out of you. It's like creating theater of the mind. It's like you got it in your mind, but you want people to visualize it, and you create it and put it out there, and people can actually see something, and something has something to do that has a significance, that educate. Because again, when we go back to the earlier YouTubes where all the tutorials on it tell you how to tear down a car, how to build a house, how to tear down a diesel engine, and also this assortment of things, how to repair this and repair that, etc., etc., right? And then something happened. And we start doing these interviews where we start interviewing the OGs, and the OGs start, some OGs was, telling the story, the history. Mud on the water's cold. Yeah, and it's deep too. So you know what I'm talking about. So remember that part when he said, yeah, he tell a lie and I tell a lie. And we compliment each other on each other's lies. That's funny you remember that part. That was some of the most hilarious stuff. You go listen to that album. That nigga's crazy. Oh man, you gonna be laughing for real. But anyway, so yeah, that's where we at, man. And then this guy name is Ashley. Ashley. It's just, man, we can't, you can't make this stuff up, man. You just can't. Here's a guy that's running up on people, telling people that he's like that. He the boogeyman. And his name is Ashley. Ashley, sit down. You're over there. And then when I heard you on the phone with Clarice, what is her name? Sharice Mills. Oh baby, and she whining and crying, and he whining, and I'm like, wait a minute, man, this lady is not gonna be around, bro. Go ahead and tell her to go. Collect yourself, salvage what you can. Don't hire an attorney. Go in with a court appointed and try to get your without snitching on anybody. And I don't know if you beyond that. You know what I mean? Because it seems like the government is already set up to give certain individuals in this case proffers because they got a lot, but if they want the whole pie, they're gonna have to talk to certain individuals to put the whole puzzle together. They may not have the whole puzzle as they want it, so they're gonna make deals. And I don't think Luce Cannon, based on the way I heard him talking to this Sharice Mills lady, like, I don't know if he cut out for that. I just don't. I don't know if he, in for the long haul, you know. Let me see what Scrooge wants. Scrooge, what you want, man? I see you in there, Scrooge. Yeah, salute to the postman and the postmaster general. Right on, man. John, what's happening, John? Yeah, so this thing is gonna get ugly, guys. It's gonna get ugly. Again, April Fool's Day is canceled this year because no made up pranks could match the unbelievable crap that's going on the internet. And then you got individuals that's mad because, I mean, I try to provide commentary and information. I come here to inform, enlighten, improve, and give you something that's thought provoking and make you like, look, it's like when I told you about the battery thing in the cell phone, the ODID program. I want you to be educated. I want you to take a realistic look at the situation and circumstances and say, well, the professor did give me something. He didn't just come on here being messy and starting a bunch of crap, or talking down on a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? Because whatever it is with Luce Cannon, he really brought it on his own self. We all saw, how abusive he was in that circumstance that they decide to film themselves. Nobody told them fast moving heel. Keep going, OG. We saw them film that whole situation themselves. Nobody outside, they filmed the situation. Don't be surprised if you see Jay Reed take the stand, guys, against these people. Do not be surprised in that. If you see that happening, that's part of what the government is doing, because I thought it was weird that all this stuff played out on the internet and they put it up there. They start shopping around because they say it's content. It's not content. That's not content. Understand? Go define content. Define content, and then you'll know exactly when you say content, you'll know exactly what you're talking about. And you won't just be making up anything and saying this is content and that's content when it's absolutely not content. It's not. I keep trying to add you, man. It's not content, guys. Just not. I don't know what's going on with your thing, Scrooge, man. You come on here. There you go. Greedy Scrooge greedy. What's happening, man? You got bad Wi-Fi, bro. You got bad Wi-Fi.
What's up, Patty?
Yeah, you got bad Wi-Fi. Wait, let me do something.
What,
Hold on,
Luce?
hold
Can
on.
you hear me? Oh, Jesus, it's always him.
Hello, hello. What's good? I couldn't hear him. Yeah, so yeah, no, it's not content, man. And then I understand that, there's a lot of guys that really don't understand the necessity or the reason why certain individuals is actually following uh this moment and giving commentary, because I don't want to see nobody get caught up in the same situation. So if I can look into it and try to go get information and look at the science and say, guys, here's the elements, here's the problem, don't do this, don't do that. And I look at the sentencing guidelines, and I look at the U.S. Title 18, when I look at the Hobbs Acts that codify under U.S. Title 18, 1951 federal law, and if I can provide you with that information, that may be telling you something that you probably didn't even know, or you wasn't aware that the feds used your criminal history from 15 years ago all the way to 10 years, and they don't do like the state. They actually give you points for any case that you had within a 15 period. If it's a felony, it's 15 years. If it's a misdemeanor, it's 10 years. And whether it's tickets or not, they give you points for that conduct. And this is how they move you over in criminal categories. And once they do that, they move you over there. They're able to set you up for that pickle that I was telling you about. And the pickle is that, say for instance, you had a robbery in 2012, and you caught a drug case in 2015. Now you back in federal court in 2025 with another robbery. That is, and the feds is looking at that you are a career criminal. So now they're going to give you a life sentence because you have 3 crimes of violence. They're going to look at it as 3 crimes of violence. And they're going to strike you out in their way. Anybody got any questions for me today? Where we at? Let me see. Shannon, what's happening? What's going on, BG Inch? Michael S., what's good? Yeah, you're right. You can't be on the internet and be in the streets too. It's like walking with God and holding hands with the devil. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're going to lose. The streets is undefeated. And if you want to remain undefeated on this internet, man, you better stay off the streets, because this is not that type of world right here. Did I hear Pistol Pete Spanish speaking Spanish? Yeah, they spoke Spanish. Where do you get that from? What do you mean by that? A lot of people over there speak Spanish, bro. I was with his sister Saturday, Nancy. OG Giggles. King Mike, where you been, bro? King Mike into the house. Yeah, so I just wanted to, give my no disrespect, just wanted because he was, oh yeah, of course. No, I just sometimes when you text something, it doesn't necessarily convey what your how you expressing it. You know what I mean? You might be expressing it from a place of love, or you might be expressing it from a place of derogatory. So it just sometimes the wording it's hard to determine where it is. I really think Wax is nervous. He's changed his stance a lot lately. Of course he is, man. Man, do anybody believe that Wax can go anywhere at this point, let alone jail? And then you got Adam 22. I want y'all to hear this. Hear this guy right there. Let me see. I want y'all to hear because I was in the feds with the guys from the Bay. But I had to say them Bay guys, they different because they're really they kind of like the Chicago guys. They got pecking orders and they got things. They don't jump over it like we do in LA, Compton, Watts and stuff. And they kind of follow it. It was this guy
60,
from the back.
70 years old, still representing this shit, bro. Still holding it down. Nigga, you come to the Bay, nigga, we retire at 35, nigga. Got us fucked up, nigga. We change our lives, we retire at 35, 40. You ain't gonna see no nigga in the Bay Area gang banging on the block, hella old, nigga. It's either that nigga is a dust-ass nigga that's just standing out there drinking his life away, or he done got his shit together, went home to the family, now we helping the youth.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping my shit real with you, bro.
Yeah,
in the Bay Area, when you get a certain age, I don't give a fuck what type of killer you was.
Yeah.
When you get a certain age, you put that shit up and you start helping the youth. That's what we do. We don't recruit no more.
Yeah.
I'm speaking for the whole Bay, nigga.
Yeah.
We don't recruit no more, bro.
Yeah, but that's the culture.
The culture out here, like,
different.
gang bang.
When it comes
Once
to
you put
when
your
it come-
pistols up, that's
Yeah.
why I'm getting real with you. That's why our youth are so wild. Because we really turn our back on the youth when we done with the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, that's why there has no structure out here. Because
Right.
old niggas don't deal in the streets that much in the Bay Area, bro. They
Right.
getting money, they taking care of their kids, or they're really helping the youth. Not fucking gangbanging, faking like they helping the youth.
Yeah.
Like these niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like this is really helping the youth.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, bro. In Northern California.
Right.
In
That
Northern
makes sense.
California,
Makes
bro.
sense.
So
So basically,
that's
what
the
you said.
difference. Yeah.
So basically, like you just made a good point. You said that a lot of the older cats in the Bay, 40 plus, 50, whatever.
Nigga, they retired.
Interesting point. I can't argue against him because I've been in there. I've been in the feds with these guys, right? Let me go back. I've been in the feds with these guys, and I saw how they move. I've been there with JB, James BZ out of Frisco, Lil D, Daryl Reed, Lil Partner out of Oakland. I've been there with Black. I'm talking about these are real stomped down dudes. Frog, B.O.B., These are real dudes, cats that really, carried that Bay, I can't say nothing bad about them. Nothing. Because they carried it right. They didn't do all this wild stuff. They just didn't. They just didn't. They just don't, They just don't. They different. And you gotta admire that they understand pecking orders and they understand that everybody has a position to play. And everybody can't be at the top. Somebody got to do the thinking. Somebody got to count the money. Somebody got to know how to invest the money. Somebody got to know how to get the car. Somebody, everybody got a position. And until people here in California, Southern California, start understanding that, because we so pitted against one another. Most of the dudes that's doing what they doing today, that's why we see all this stuff that's happening with Big U and Luce Cannon and Brick Baby and all this different stuff is because dudes was basically hating on each other. That's where it all derived from. A lot of it. Dudes start saying this about this one and that about that one and this one about this one, and then it just kept escalating. How long have that been going on? Let's be honest. How long have this been playing out on the internet? If you really look at it, City Streets TV. If you really look at it, how long has this back and forth, waking up every morning hearing somebody talking about Big U, talking about this guy, talking about that guy? How long? At least 3 years, right? That's mind blowing. For somebody to spend that much time and energy, and it goes back to what I've said. It takes a village to raise a child, right? But a child who doesn't feel the warmth of a village, or feel the embrace of the village, will burn it down to feel its warmth. These are the individuals that you see that's tearing the village apart, that's ripping apart, tearing it down, and they just don't care. Because they feel like they've been put out the village. So therefore, instead of seeing the village continue to grow and be something, they'd rather burn it down. And that's where we at here in Southern California. And just think about the people in Texas, the people in New York, the people in Jersey, the people in Baltimore, the people in DC, people in Florida, people in Atlanta, people in Tennessee, Memphis, and all the different Arkansas, and Arizona, New Mexico, all across the United States, right? That kind of follow this Damu and Kiwe structure. But it's so wild and disobedient and unorganized. No orthodox structure whatsoever. And yet we see people in New York abandon supreme alphabets, abandon supreme alphabet, mathematics, abandon the gods and earth, abandon that to become Crips and Bloods. That makes sense. Well, I think part of the reason is that people don't, they don't follow guidance, instructions, leadership, or proper preparation to prevent poor performances. They don't. Oklahoma, yeah, there you go, greedy, Scrooge greedy. They follow who they like and what's trending, and who you like don't necessarily represent any type of structure or leadership whatsoever. It's just they might have hit a good tailspin or something. They look good right now, you know. You ever seen a car? Somebody get a car and it may have some cold paint on it, have some rims on it, and it look good and have beat. But you open up the door and look inside, you be like, dang, man, what is all this? The seats are all ruined and dirty, dash toe up. They ain't do nothing on the inside, but the paint look good, the rims look good, and the music sound great. It's kind of like what we dealing with. On the inside, it's all toe up. And I don't know what it's going to take to right the ship or fix this, because if I'm coming on the internet trying to give proper instructions or give you something from substance and give you some tangibles, and people are looking at it, people are looking at it like I'm doing something wrong, but yet they won't call ABC, they won't call CBS, they won't call TNN, they won't call Fox, MSNBC. They won't call none of them news networks complaining. because I got commentary on this subject matter because I got like an inside look at it because I've been to the feds. I've seen the federal seconds and federal thirds. I know that the federal seconds and federal thirds have a key on it. The key represent opening the door and locking the door. But if you don't crack the book open, you'll never know what it can do for you. Because you relying on a person that don't know you, don't really care about you, and only desire to get the money out of you. And once that's done, he's done with you. There you go. Pro World Channel Media. Keep work, real content. I agree with you. But there's so many people on here putting out garbage, man. DC Blacks. It's late. It's late for the black people. Let me see. What is he saying? It's late for the black people in Los Angeles. Y'all only got 8% of the population. It don't even matter about the population, bro. Do you realize that they lie about the that they lie about the land mass of the map of the world? They lie about everything else. We cannot use their pharmacologies or their analysis or their assessment about who we are and what we are. As long as we keep believing we less and we keep saying that we this and we keep giving into that ourselves, then that's what you're going to believe. I don't believe that. Because when you look at it, I don't care how you look at it, how you frame it. Our music, our dance, our slang, our swag, of course, the way we conduct ourselves, everybody else on the planet follow it. That is not less. That is more. But if you're looking at the glass as half empty, then that's what you believe. I can't help you with that. But that's part of the indoctrination too, because you've been indoctrinated and you've been educated from an indoctrination standpoint of view. So therefore, you're going to look at yourself and you're going to always say what you just said. And that ain't the truth. How you know that's the truth? Because they said it, or did you count everybody? See how that work? Why you question yourself? Don't get mad because I'm challenging you on this. But what I'm saying, questioning yourself to why you believe that. That's what you got to do, DC Blacks. That's what you got to do. Because sometimes, as soon as it come time to vote, guess what everybody's worried about? Who the black people gonna vote for? If we such a less than population, or our numbers are so dwindling, why are they overly concerned, or why are they hell bent on trying to figure out which way we're going to vote? It's something to think about. And then the fact that a large percentage of us don't vote. But here's what I suggest, that you always vote in your local politics, because your local politics directly affect you in your community. Don't even worry about that presidential stuff. That stuff is garbage. It's a joke. But I get it. I get it. We were here before any of them. I would never believe it. Southern California is very close to the border. Los Angeles on the air, yeah, you said that. Facts, 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 facts. Per world. I just tried it, man. Listen, guys, I really just tried to just tell you what I know. I don't get into that feeling stuff because actually I feel with my hand. I don't even deal with that feelings. I don't, nothing in there. Difference don't never mean deficient. It don't never mean deficient, man. Don't never even think that, let that come out like that. Get those likes up, like Mike said. What's going on, Claybo? Yeah, people are not straw men or tin men. Yeah, I read fourth edition, Cracking the Code, where it talk about straw man, tin man, and talk about the fiduciary, talk about there was one part in the where it talked about this one guy, he went to court and the judge say, what is your name? And the guy say, no, it's not. The judge say, what is your name, son? And the guy say, no, it's not. So the judge say, okay, I'm not going to play this game. Who are you? The guy say, well, I'm known by many things. My parents call me son. My dog called me Wolf. But you, sir, you can call me such and such. But he said, this is what he told him. He said, but you do not have the legal right to use my name because I actually own my name. And if you use my name and I didn't sign into a contract with you to use my name, that would be a $250,000 fine. This is what the guy told this guy in court, told the judge in court. It's a real sharp individual. And he teaches you how to talk to the police. He teaches how, because he go all the way back to the law, how it's written, not this new updated version of this stuff. A lot of the laws and a lot of amendments are different things that was added to the Constitution that was never, never part of it. But it's some interesting stuff. You got to know the black vote in Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Detroit, Atlanta, and North Carolina. That is the swing states where most of the people live. Those states win the election. Oh, yeah, that's see, now you're thinking. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they don't see us as an individual state. They see us as a culture. And they talk about we don't have no culture when everybody following our culture. But then we got to be careful of this part too, where they put out the sexy reds and the Sukianas and all these different people, these buffoons, these bozos, as white would say. He's a bozo. But yeah, they put all these people out front. They put the worst of our culture in front of the best of our culture. No, I don't think he was mad or upset. It's just that we got to understand that, man. Mexicans, right? Prior to 1500s, there was no such thing as a Mexican. And then if you start breaking down the Gaspar Yangas and the Vicente Guerreros and all the other people that helped liberate Mexico, Black freedom fighters, and when you start breaking down the Olmec civilization and you start breaking down all that different stuff to these people, they come around. It's just that they've been miseducated and they've been indoctrinated, and they have African ancestry too, because all people derive from African ancestry. We call it African, but we don't know if that's the real name or not. That can be completely made up, but that's just a point of reference. We use it, we say it. That's what everybody uses, so we use that. We're not black. We're not crayons or whatever. Again, that's just something we use. But again, I like to tell everybody this, that the niggas was created by America, the conditions of the nigga, the experiences, and the nigga himself was created here in America. But we keep accepting that, as who we are, because we see it play out over and over and over within the music, within the culture. There was a time where we was proud to hear certain hip hop, man. Now you got Sexy Red, Sukihana, Glorilla, uh, uh, Meg the Stallion, and Big Lotto driving the hip hop now on this ratchet stuff, just straight out ratchet. And now all the younger black women are behaving and acting like these individuals when they're not teaching their own kids that. So you think that girl, what's her name, Cardi B, is teaching her kids that stuff? No way. Mm-mm. Nope. But she using it as a means to make money. I get it, but what's the cost? What is the cost? People don't ever look at what is the cost. If I do this and behave in this way, what is the cost? I'll make a few dollars, but at the end of the day, it's gonna hurt my people way more. So you gotta find a way to balance this stuff. Taco, what's that? What to do, man? Level up, Grady. Usually the president we vote for don't matter. No, it don't. This president term wasn't different though. He changed things in a rapid rate and better, for better or worse. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's dumb myself personally. I think he's very dumb. And he's being moved by white supremacists and white supremacist talking points and a lot of things. When you start taking down Jackie Robinson and taking down 4-star black generals who's led the Joint Chiefs of Staffs, and you start removing black history from certain things, it's clear who he is. He hides behind taking photo opportunities and trying to create narratives, and that's why he take photos with black people so he can use it to convince you that he's sort of with you, but all the time he's just using it as a ploy, a display of showing you that he somehow, because it's chicanery, right? What is chicanery? Chicanery is trickery for political or financial gain. So they'll look it up. Don't take my word. Look up the word chicanery. But anyway, that's who Donald Trump is. And if you think he's anything more than that, then you think he's here to help you or advance you some kind of way. And he's upsetting the system. Yeah, he's upsetting the system, but he's upsetting it in a bad way. He's going to benefit, and all his billionaire buddies going to benefit, but you're going to suffer. You're going to definitely suffer. We're getting in. Once again, we at that time. I think I've been rambling long enough. Let me see. Let's see. Them folks is cold-blooded. They're in charge of the rules of the society, and there is no need to explain it to them. They decide to make it what you want, and you have the power to do so. Yeah. That's why I say it ain't is. People say it is what it no. It is what you make it. It is what you make it. Don't say it is what it is. You giving up. You're saying that. Say it is what you make it. I agree with you, bro. We have to represent and pay more sons and daughters and pray every day. You're right, DC Black. You got to right, man. I've been in with some of the most brilliant dudes come out of DC, man. I've been in the feds with your people. And I don't know if that's why you put that up. You from DC, but I know Kurt Bone. I know a few people out of there. Yeah, some real good dudes out of there, man. So yeah, you wouldn't go so far as to call him dumb. Well, he's dumb to the degree that he's allowing the white supremacists to kind of lead his direction. You know what I mean? He could have done it better than that. He could have been more. He could have been more better representative than that. That's the reason why I call him dumb. But he's smart enough to, to work he's working a twist on the government, definitely. He's definitely twisting them. But at the same time, you as a black man, you see where it's going. You see what he's doing. And it's not going to end well. It's good for us, Yeah, that preacher locking the door, man, he need his drawers kicked up his behind. Robin, what's his name? Marvin Sapp. Yeah, he is a sap. He's talking about you saw the best in me. Is that the song? You saw the best in me. Man, we seeing the worst in you right now. You and Creflo Dollar and Cheaty Fakes and that Joel Osteen and all them people. I tell you, man, church is the business of selling God. That's what it is. That's what it is, man. If you want to know who's called, you want to know who's really called, take money out to church. Then you'll see who's really called. If you really want to see who's called, take money out to church. Then you'll see who's called. Church is the business of selling God to those who stupid enough they're willing to purchase it. I'm not one of them. But anyway, I appreciate each and every last one of you. Imagine if we blacks, culture is 60% of the population, we would look smart too. Yes, sir. Appreciate each and every last one of you, man. Yeah. Okay, 40% Asian in LA. They don't count. Shaking my head. Appreciate each and every last one of you. It's wonderful and amazing. Increase in intellect, wisdom, and knowledge and understanding, and purify your heart and your mind. And let your entry be by the gate and truth and honor. Likewise, let your exit be out of there. Be safe. Be smart. Give yourself a chance. And don't get in your own way. With that being said, I am Professor Mimel, the Hood Postman. Don't mind me just watching. Church moving. But go ahead and lock that door. That's what it is, guys. We are gone.
Cali Finest, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money. Got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga. Streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the feds get me. It's guap off top. Diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing. They see me shining. That's hard work. Proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. Ali, bad man, and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me. That's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga, play later. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking. And I don't talk about it. I just make it happen. Word on the block is that my shit go. Reach for the low.
Lock the door. Lock the door, Marlena, because we are gone.